Timo from ADB's Office of the Auditor General and your moderator for this session. Today's topic is entitled Industry 4.0, What Internal Auditors Need to Know. Our speaker, Mr. Peter Cheng, is currently the Independent Director in Aerospace Industrial Development Corporation in Taiwan. Peter will share how aerospace companies like AIDC adopts to the significant technology transformation under Industry 4.0. His session will cover control monitoring for aerospace industrials, enhancing process effectiveness through artificial intelligence, and improving AIDC's supply chain relationship with Boeing and Airbus. Without further ado, let us all welcome Mr. Peter Cheng.
Thank you, Judy. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome to join this breakout section. My topic will be focused on what we have just said. That you auditor, you have to know that under the Industry 4.0. I'm Peter Chen from Taipei. It's great to meet you here in Manila. Oh, yeah. What's that? This one? Okay. Yeah, that's my past almost 30 years in auditing and computing, and another 10 years in independent director for the profession of the corporate governance in recent 10 years. And now I have spent a little time to the Rotary for the non-profit organization. That's for my personal interest. You know, before you interest or before you retire, or you retire, after all, you may or you may not to pay a little money for your society to have a contribution. Also, I have actually now I'm a professor at the Soochow University. Yeah, this is my briefing. And today, before end of this section, I made a summarize for your memory. You know, this is the last section today, the day one. Before you leave, I made your an image that what we get after this section. And four topic that the sustainable is very important keyword now in our enterprise, even in our company. Today we face the challenge in every aspect, even the trade, the tax. We have to face, we have to challenge. So our company, we have to have our technology upgrade. So this is now we have to upgrade. The time for our to install our integrated system. And then today the second topic I will introduce to you that from today, this morning till now, just one thing we have to mention that I will emphasize the monitoring control or my section under this topic. Under the concept of the COSO 2013 version, that we have almost mentioned that emphasize that monitoring control between this. We have shown that there's a three line of control of defense: first line, second line, and third line of control defense. Auditors, we used to be say that we are the third line of control defense in the corporation. And first line, we may apply to the COSO concept that we will be said that control by employer, CSA, control self by himself. That's the first line of control. And second line will be supervised by the staffing function division for their own division's control. And then the third line is auditor. But today I will introduce that under the Industry 4.0, we emphasize, application most of the audit technology, audit findings, we transit the third line control into the second line and first line control. That's very important concept. Before you leave, you just keep it, and when you go back to your company, you just try to find out. Every time I will find out that when auditor find out any audit finding, and not months later, and in our system, or even our system, or everything, input control, or application control, even output control, our audit finding has been built in, right in, and embedded in our system. That's turned out to be audit, continuous auditing. The technology has been translated to the first line as the monitoring control 24 hours a day, every moment, specialized in the automatic industry. So this is the second I want to emphasize. And the company today, we have faced that the cost. We have to face that, in Japan and the United States, we may pay $100 for hours labor cost. In Taiwan, we pay 40 to 50 US dollar per hour. In Malaysia, $25 an hour. In Turkey, maybe $10. In Mexico, $5 property. So we face that the cost, competition. So we want to survive. We want to face our competitor. So cost control turned out to be very important. Under the 4.0, the system, we accumulate most of the data, big data. We turn out to be our learning, we would draw out to be a learning curve to study our cost of the behavior. So the cost control turned out to be one of our key weapon of our, and the last one is as an auditor. Today, we are under the supply chain. So under the supply chain, the auditor play very important of a contract auditor. Contract auditor, we have to control most of our tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, most of our suppliers, their quality, their delivery, and their everything, even the cost we have to control. Now we just control the final delivery control. We try to control everything, even ongoing control of our supply. We all implement the Industry 4.0. We try to ask our supplier, even they could have the very transparency online system, so that we could see each other. So today my content will be focus 3. The first will be the monitoring control of our Industry 4.0. This is my focus. And second, I will introduce 2 cases. The 2 cases I will introduce the most important one, that is today the aircraft. Most of the material has been instead the carbon fiber instead of the metal material. So non-metal material productions turn out to be very, very important, competitive for airplane company. So this is the second I want to introduce. And third one is the supply chain. If time permit, I will introduce. And then this is a monitoring control, everything that control online real time. That is one of the very special character. In our environment, actually to say, not only in the aerospace, in my country, my past 40 years, my experience in high tech, even in semiconductor fabs, I used to be years ago, we have also the Industry 4.0. Every time, every minute, we collect data. We instrument every equipment, have a sensor. We have a couple, semi-couple. We have a installation. We collect every element as we could. So we could control everything. And we collect data in 20 hours every day and to be accumulate a database. So before and after that 4.0 industry, first of all, we have to strong build up a very sound of the framework of a computer system, vertical to say from left to the hand, to left hand side to the right. The basic is a server for the email, that's knows, everyone's knows. And then we will install, migration of our ERP system. In my company, we have installed the SAP system, for example, in the beginning of 2000. And now every year, every 10 years, we have migration. And now this year, we just ended our IAIDC. That is the artificial intelligence system we have just implemented. The system, the material we just published this year in May. Just published. And we set up the goal for the end of this year, 2018. And we almost achieved that. But first of all, the database, the system integrated is very, very important for our implement our system. So this is the first line I want to tell you that online real-time monitoring control under the 4.0 that, for example, the quality assurance on this online real-time is we set up the measurement. Measurement is quality. So everything we have a quantity. Everything we have a number. We collect quality, we collect the quantity and to measure everything. So even the robot install in the machinery. So every machinery, every platform, we collect the data and then we quality. So we instrument, for example, our methodology. For example, for this slide, that we use the tool, tooling cut, for example, that we measure that every different kind of the branding of the tooling, there will be a longer, the optimization of the lifetime hours and follow limit of the lifetime. So we could optimize and the living light hours. So we set up we could accept the hours into the configuration of the machinery and to calculate the data and then hours, every hours, and then year later, and we could calculate, we could measurement our supply chain, our different supplier, they offer the different kind of tooling, and we could measure the different of the hours we may use. And then for the good quality control, we will set up in the machinery the parameter. When time is up, we will set up and the machinery will alarm and we will change the tooling cut. That's one of our example. This is the most simple example we have to show. And this is a diagram we just write to you. So, like Auditor, the artificial today, the last three bullet is early warning and detection and prevention. Like Auditor, we have a responsibility. We have to find out, we have to detect something. Years ago, we detect, but now, our machinery, our platform, we detect. We detect everything, and we collect data. And most important, next page, we will introduce the IoT, the Internet of Things. We will connect and send to the cloud, and to be what we say is artificial intelligence. So this is only one machine. Every machine we will have different kind of function, but not over this function. So early warning, error detection, and for the forecast, our life. So ITIDC platform. This is a platform we just finished. We checked many years past. And this year we just finished at the end of May. We just finished. So the last paragraph, the last bullet, that's one of our master in a manufacturing plant. They told me that in ancient time, the master, they tell us what things happen. But now, our machinery, they could tell you automatically. They tell you different color, they tell you different message before any error happen. They will tell you. And we have the time, in time, to repair it, to change it. So intelligent machinery, this is step number one. We have to do. If company wants to build up the artificial intelligence, this is step number one. That is what I say is the IoT. From left hand side, we machinery networking. So we networking the national. So IoT plus the cloud, and big data plus, and to be the intellectual machinery. So every machine, they will be intelligent. That will be have experience. They collect data, have experience, but only one machine they do not know. So there will be a total machinery. The platform will be connected, and then to be from the data to be the information. So I will introduce that from left hand side. That the left hand side, the graph is that is a carbon fiber. You know, the carbon fiber is very important manufacturing material now. We lapping every prepacked material, and under this control, under this environment, we have detect in the air. We detect the dust, how large of a particle. We have detect the humidity, the dry and humidity, and pressure. Every aspect we have collect the element, input the data, and then we connect to the center of the TACC. That's our, what we say is our manufacturing center, and then we will conjunction to the other machinery together. And then right hand side, that so many graphic, that is our output form. I will talk later. But you will find out there's two graphic of the red side, red color, that is alarming. So everything we have connected, and then you just monitoring your display. Even the display in the computer or in your home, in your iPad or in your iPhone, you could read. You know, it's different over the vehicle, but we could read. So this is what we say is we have an integrate most of the system. That is the first step number one for the artificial intelligence. So most of input, so inside of input, one or few of inside of the consideration that comes from the operators, and some come from the auditors. We input the parameter inside. And then this is number two. There's a macro monitoring and micro monitoring. Macro monitoring, that we control the whole plant wide. The whole company we could plan, and we use we collect most of the display under different kind of the manufacturing division. We collect, and then you will find out the hand side. There's two graphic of the right side. That is alarming. So alarming will be let you know what things happen. This is macro. And the most key important words in the artificial intelligence, that from this graphic, right hand side is monitoring. The warning is we facility authorization. In the manufacturing, authorization is very important. Before we implementation, the system, our authorization could be 75%. But after that, implementation could be 95%. Today, 95%, and tomorrow or next month, we will try to authorization from 95 to 99 or 98 or 99. Authorization is very important for the automation industrial company. And this is micro. Micro means very small, very for the single machinery, and very single for the shift. For example, we control from online real time. We control the every order, shop order, every shift, and how many workers, how many hours input automatically inside. We control that, and all controlled by the manufacturing automatically. So authorization multiplies every shift. So if the shift is efficiency or not. If shift is not efficiency, so stagnation will be happen. So stagnation, we will use different graphic. We will analyze in recent days, today's, or in recent weeks, or in recent months. We will calculate to find out what's happened. So right now, I will tell you, in the on-site operators, an operator and with his manager, we will on-site monitoring control daily. But auditors, we will control monthly. At the end of monthly, we will control what's happened. So at that time, that auditor turned out to be, we don't spend too much to go the compliance test. We don't go to search anymore. The data has been searched by the machinery itself. So we just get the data to find out where is the risk. The target is to set the same. Authorization or shift, the target, how many hours, how many labor hours we have set up, and now why delayed? The target is set up, but delayed, we will find out. Delay is one day, that's operation on-site managers' problem. Even weeks, their problem. But 1 month later, the auditor will involve. So maybe cumulative after 3 months, that we will sit together to discuss what's wrong. If the target is wrong, we fix up our target. If the efficiency is lower, we have to change our efficiency. What's happened? So this is a micro monitoring. So every time I will talk you from macro monitoring to the micro monitoring, and this is one of the so authorization after and before. But now this is a true data, has 20% increase of the authorization rate, and cost down 20%. This is a true data, and we can find out most of the graphic tell us, and should be in action. Action is very important. On the online, one more time to say that daily, weekly, that's online managers' problem. Monthly, the online manager and auditor, we will sit down together to discuss what's happened. So at the end of the year, we will find out the cost down and we will achieve. So compound monitoring, that we used to say compound. Taiwan, we like Japan, so we use the Japan, the compound. So right now we have built up the 136 compound for this. So I have just shown you there's a compound, so every platform, every workstation, every machinery, we have a compound, we have monitoring. And maybe one operator control 2 or 3 platforms, one operator to control 3 or 4, 5 compound to control. That's cost saving. That's cost saving. And even we try to help our supplier to have this system. and we can monitoring from our monitoring control to view size our subsidiary company, to view size our supplier chains. So 136 display. This is just a monitoring. I cannot give you too much detail. This is our secret. But however, before Kanban install and after that, you will find out right-hand side after that. So after that, we have a sensor installation, very important. Thermocouple. We used to say that thermocouple in every equipment in this room, like Amazon Go. Amazon Go, you want to have Amazon Go. This morning we have told you. Amazon Go has so many sensors installed. 5 minutes left? Okay, no time to say. So, okay, so monitoring control, so 3 control work together, and stagnation, times longer. So this is a detection. We have to find out where the problem is. So this is after that. So 20 to 20 days, the time cycle, we have shrink down from 26 to 20 for each shift. And case. This is the second topic we talk. And I just introduced the first, composite material. This is very important. Airbus 350, for this, they told me that now, today, the A350, the weight, 52% of the weight the material has been replaced by the compound material. So this is why I told you that the compound material we have installed from every shift with scheduling. So this is the artificial intelligence step number 3. If we want to say why is the value of artificial intelligence, where is value added? Scheduling. From scheduling, we use that, we collect data, and now we use the data, we use the artificial intelligence system to scheduling our manufacturing. So compound material, we use that way. So right-hand side, you'll find out different color. The green color is okay, but different color, yellow and green. Yellow or the red, that will be something happen. So after intelligent scheduling, first of all, our order scheduling before is 79%. After install is 95%.